Okay, today's story is Saint Joseph in the Forest. Anyway, a long time ago, many years ago in Germany, there was a really strange mother. This strange mother had 3 daughters. She had the oldest daughter and the middle daughter and the youngest daughter. Now this oldest daughter was not a very good girl. She was a very rude girl. Rude means not polite. Rude means like when somebody says hello, this person would not say hello. She would not respond. She doesn't have any good manners. She is very rude. Anyway, the oldest girl, the eldest girl, eldest means the oldest. Eldest girl was very rude, and she was very wicked. Wicked means bad, mean, not kind, not very good. And so she was very wicked and very rude. And then the second girl was a little bit better. She was a little bit or much better than the first girl because she was not as bad as the first girl. She was much better, although she also had some faults. Faults means weaknesses. The second girl had many bad points too, but then she was a little bit better than the first girl. But the third girl, the youngest girl, was the most beautiful, she was the best girl. She was a pious girl. Pious means faithful. She believed in God, and that means she's kind, and she's hardworking, and she's very diligent. She's very good and kind and all that stuff. Anyway, the third girl was the very good girl, but Mother did not like this girl. Mother liked the first girl, and Mother did not like the third girl. She could not stand this girl. She could not bear this girl. Bear means to stand, to endure. The mother could not stand this girl, bear this girl. So she sent this girl into the forest. She said, "Go to the forest and play," because she thought maybe if this little girl went into the forest, wild beasts will come and eat the girl, or she might get lost. She may get lost her way, and she may not come home. And she just wanted to get rid of her. So in order to get rid of her, that means to throw her away. In order to get rid of her, she sent the girl into the forest every day. Now, but this girl was, like I said, a pious girl, a very good girl. So there was a guardian angel. Guardian angel always watched over her, and she was always protected. The guardian angel never did not forsake her. Forsake means to abandon, to leave her. She always protected her. So the guardian angel never forsook her. Anyway, so she was always fine, and she always came home safely. But you see, something happened. One day, maybe this guardian angel was sleeping, or maybe the guardian angel was doing something else. The guardian angel was not looking at this girl, so this little girl got lost in the woods, got lost in the forest. And so she didn't know how to get home, and now the sun went down, and then the moon came up, and then it was very dark, and she could not find the way home, and she was lost in the woods. And she didn't know what to do, and so she was looking and looking, and then she saw something in the distance. In the distance means far away. She saw something in the distance. It was a light. She saw a tiny light. Tiny means small light in the distance. So she went over and she ran towards this tiny light, and then she came to a hut. Hut means small house. She came to a hut. So she knocked on the door, knock, knock, knock. The door opened, but there was another door, and strange, there was a second door, and so she knocked the second door again, knock, knock, knock. And then the door opened, and an old man came out, and it was Saint Joseph. Saint Joseph is a very good man. He could probably do some miracles. He's like he can probably do some kind of a magic. And he's a very respectable man. So you can respect him because he's a good man. It's like he's like a god. Anyway, Saint Joseph said, "Oh, hello, who are you?" So the little girl said, "Oh, I am lost and I'm cold and please help me." And the old man said, "Come in if you're cold. Sit by the fire in my little chair. Sit down in my little chair and by the fire and warm yourself." And so she went inside and she sat down in the little chair and she warmed herself. And the old man said, if you want to drink water, I can get you some clear water. Clear water means clean water. So she got this very beautiful clear water and she drank it. And then the old man said, "Maybe you are hungry, but I have nothing to eat in this house." He said, "I have only 2 roots, a couple of roots." A couple of means 2. A couple of roots. Roots is like when you have a flower in the stem, leaf, and under the ground you have roots. And so he said, "I have only a couple of roots, and you have to wash it first, and you have to boil it, but you can cook it if you want to." So she said, "Yes, I will cook it." And so she took the 2 roots into the kitchen and she scraped it. She washed it, and she cut it and she boiled it. And when she put her hand into her pocket, she remembered that she had some bread left from lunch. So she put some bread into the soup, and she made a really nice thick soup. You know, not thin soup. Thin soup is like a consommé soup, it's very thin, but this one is a thick soup. So she was ready to eat. And then Saint Joseph said, "Oh, it smells good. I am a little bit hungry. Can I have some?" And the young girl, the little girl said, "Of course." She was quite willing. She said, "Yes, of course. These 2 roots were yours, and sure, you can have it." And so she gave almost all the soup to the old man, and she only had a little bit. When the night time came, she wanted to go to sleep. And then the old man said, "I have only one small bed, but I can sleep on the floor, on the straw, and so you sleep on the bed." And then the little girl said, "Oh no, you sleep on the bed, I will sleep on the floor. The straw is soft enough. It's very, very soft. It's good enough, soft enough for me. I will sleep on the straw." And then the old man said, "Oh no, no." So she picked her up, and he picked her up, and he carried her in his arms, and brought her to the bed, and he put her on the bed. He laid her on the bed, and he said good night. She said good night to Saint Joseph, and then she said a prayer to God before she went to bed, and then she went to sleep. She fell asleep. The next morning, she woke up. She awoke, and she looked for the old man. She looked for Saint Joseph, but Saint Joseph was not anywhere. She looked and looked, and she looked for him, but he was not anywhere. So she began to look around, and then finally she opened the door and she looked behind the door. When she looked behind is like this is in front, this is next, this is on, behind is right here. So behind the door, she opened the door and she looked behind the door. She noticed, she perceived means notice. She noticed or perceived a little sack. Sack means a bag. She saw a bag. She noticed a bag. And it was a big bag, and it was a heavy bag. Heavy. And so she said, "What is this?" And there was a letter, and the letter said, "This bag belongs to the girl who stayed in this house the night before." That means this big bag was for her. And so she was very happy. So she opened up the bag, and she found many, many coins, gold coins inside the bag. Oh, she was happy. So she picked it up, and she went outside, and this time she could find the road to go home. So she went home. When she came home, Her mother was not happy. She said, "Oh, you came back again?" But this young girl said, "Mother, this is gold and coins for you." And she gave the whole bag, everything to her mother. Mother looked at the bag and looked at the coins, and she couldn't help but being satisfied with the girl. She was okay. She was happy. She was satisfied with the girl. She was happy because this little girl gave her the money. And then the next day, the middle girl, the second girl, said, "Mother, I want to go to the forest and see if I can get some money." So the mother said, "All right, you can go." And she gave a pancake and the bread, bigger pancake and bigger bread than the pancake and bread that she had given to the younger girl. And this little girl, a middle girl, went into the forest. The same thing happened. She knocked on the door, and the Saint Joseph came out, and he said, "Come in." So the little girl began to make the soup. And when she finished the soup with the bread and pancake, she made a thick soup. Saint Joseph said, "Oh, the soup smelled so good. Can I have some?" And then the girl said, "Sure, we can share it." Share means you have half, and I'll have half. So half and a half. We will share it. And so they both ate the food, the soup. When the bedtime came, the old man said, "You sleep on this bed." And then the girl said, "Oh, no, you sleep in here too, on this bed too. The bed is big enough for both of us. It has plenty of room for both of us. Plenty of room is big enough for both of us, you and I. So let's sleep on this bed together." But the old man said, No, I will sleep on the straw on the floor, so you sleep on this bed." And so the girl said, "Thank you," and she went to bed. She fell asleep. The next morning, when she woke up, Saint Joseph was gone. He vanished. Vanish means he's gone. You can't see him. He disappeared. And so she looked and looked, and she opened the door, and behind the door, yes, she perceived, or she noticed, a sack. The sack was not as big as the sack that the youngest child got. It's a small bag, but still there was some money inside. And so she was very, very glad. She picked it up and she went home. But on the way home, she secretly opened it, picked up 2 pieces of coins, and she kept them in her pocket and went home and gave it to her mother. And the mother was happy to receive the bag. Well, on the third day, the first girl, the rude and wicked girl, the eldest girl, she was very curious. Curious means interested. She was very curious what would happen if she went. So she said to her mother, "Mother, I want to go to the forest." And the mother said, "No, don't go to the forest because it's dangerous. Wild beasts might come and eat you. No. But this girl said, "No, I want to go." She insisted. Insist means I want to go, I want to go, I want to go. She insists. She says it very strongly. She asks so strongly. And so mother said finally, "Okay, you can go, but take a big lunch so you won't be hungry." So the mother gave her big pancake, big bread, and she even gave her some cheese. And so this oldest girl took this big lunch and went into the forest. And everything happened likewise. Likewise means just like before. Same thing happened. She came to the St. Joseph's house, and she went inside, and St. Joseph said, "I have only 2 roots, a couple of roots. If you want to make something, make it with this one." So she said, "Yes, I will cook." And so she cooked a beautiful thick soup with bread and pancake and cheese in it. When everything was finished, our old man said, "It smells so good. Can I have some?" And then the girl said, "Wait, I eat first. Wait until I am satisfied. After I am full, and if I have something left, then you can have some." And so she began to eat the soup, And when she finished, it was almost gone. She ate almost all of it. She ate nearly everything. Nearly means almost everything. She ate nearly everything. So the old man had to scrape the dish and ate a few bites. When the night time came, the sleeping time came, the girl just went to the bed and went to sleep. She didn't say good night. She didn't say a prayer. She just fell asleep on the bed and went to sleep. The next morning, of course, the old man was gone. The old man was gone. And but the oldest girl didn't even bother to look for the old man. She just went to the door and opened the door and wanted to find something behind the door. But when she looked, she couldn't find anything. She thought, strange, where is the bag of money? She looked and looked, but she couldn't find anything. But when she was looking, she saw something hanging from the tip of her nose. Something was hanging from the top of her nose or tip of her nose. And so she looked and she touched it, but it didn't go away. And finally she found it was her second nose. She had a nose, but there was another nose hanging from the tip of her nose. She was very surprised and she was horrified. And so to her horror, it was the second nose, and so she began to scream. She began to scream and howl. Howl is like, the dog barks, ruff, 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 and dogs also howl, like a woo, woo, woo. But girls don't howl like a dog, but then when you say the girl scream and howl, means she really screamed loud. She ran out of the house, she went into the forest, and she called Saint Joseph. Saint Joseph, Saint Joseph, help me! And then finally she found Saint Joseph. And so when she found Saint Joseph, she ran to Saint Joseph. She fell down at his feet, and she said, "Please, please, I beg you, please take my nose away." Well, because she begged so much, Saint Joseph felt sorry for her, and he said, "Oh, okay." Out of pity. Out of pity means because he felt so sorry for her. He said, "I will take your second nose off." So he took it off. And it was gone. And she was very happy. And then he said, "I will give you 2 pennies, 2 coins." So he gave her 2 coins, two pieces of money, coins. She took it, and I don't know, maybe she said thank you, maybe she didn't say thank you, I don't know. But she left, and she went home. St. Joseph said, "Go home." So she came home. Mother came to the door, and she said, "Oh, welcome home. Did you see the old man? What did he give you?" And then the girl said, "Well," she said, "the old man gave me a big sack of money, but I lost it on the way home." See, she lied. Saint Joseph did not give her any money, any sack of money, but she lied to her mother. She said, "Oh, he gave me a big sack of money, but I lost it." And the mother said, "Oh, no, you lost it? Let's go find it." And the girl said, "Oh, no, I don't want to go," she said. First she said, No, I don't want to go." And then she began to cry, No, I don't want to go." But the mother took her by the hand and she pulled it. She said, "Let's go to the forest and find the money," because this woman is a bad woman. She's also rude and wicked and very greedy. She wanted more money, so she said, "Let's go." And she took the girl's hand and pulled her, and she went into the forest. They looked and looked, but they couldn't find the money because the oldest girl never received a sack of money, so they couldn't find any money. And then soon, guess what? Many, I don't know how many, maybe hundreds of snakes and lizards, snakes and lizards came, and they began to bite the girl and bite the old woman at the foot. And they bit and bit and bit, and they stung and stung. Sting is like bite is like bite, yeah? They sting so much that they both died. The oldest girl died because the snakes came and bit the girl. And mother died too, because the reason why is because the mother was a bad mother, and the mother should have brought up this girl better. The mother was not a good mother to bring this girl up to be a nice girl. She didn't do a good job about bring up a girl to be a nice girl, so it was a punishment. And so the snakes and lizards came and stung the mother to death also. So they both died. The end.